Hey everyone, so I know that we're all kind of struggling with Divi Builder, so I'm going to do an exercise video with you guys so you can kind of get the hang of Divi Builder. On Wednesday, we're going to use the class to kind of like ask questions, and I'm going to build the website with you, and we're going to kind of work through this slowly. So make sure you have questions prepared on Wednesday, and don't be afraid to ask questions, because remember that whatever questions you have, everyone else has them. And I think that we all learned that in the critique, that we're all struggling with navigation and full width and how to make things fit and things like that. So I'm literally going to build what's called a landing page with you guys today. So a landing page is a single page website that is used for marketing purposes. So like if you have a specific product you're trying to sell, I have a lot of friends who do social media services, and they have one page that comes off their website just for their social media services. So let's kind of go through that together. I have this old website I don't use, and I installed Divi Builder on it. So if you guys have if you've been in every class and you've been in every lecture and you've watched the tutorials, a lot of this is going to be repeat for you, but that's okay. Just kind of bear with me. There's a lot of people in a lot of different places, so I'm just going to cover it all so we can do it together. So we should all be really familiar with the dashboard by now. This is basically your home base for building your website. You have your admin stuff right here. You have the way to visit your website right here. If you hold down Command, you can open it in a new tab, so you're not always jumping back and forth. So down here we have everything that kind of manages the website. So we've got our home and our updates. A lot of you have already asked me about updates. The new Divi theme already needs an update, but since it is an illegal version of Divi, it'll probably be more problem than it's worth to update it. So for now, we're going to ignore those updates, and we're just going to kind of play it by ear. If you decide that you want the update before you leave this class, make sure to put it up. Other than that, we should be all set. So with your plugins, some plugins might need updated. If you need to update anything, just select all and update. And check back from time to time. You shouldn't have too many problems with hackers, because it's not like you're going to have a lot of traffic to your website. So posts. These are specifically blog posts. So you can see blog is coming soon. This is a blog website. So as I taught you before, WordPress is a blogging platform. That's how it started. It was kind of like LiveJournal, but it exploded into this website CMS. So that's why everything has blogs. Now, I had a lot of questions about what is this uncategorized that we're seeing everywhere. So blogs, the WordPress blogs, come with these categories. Uncategorized, right? So that's automatically what all your blogs will be labeled under. This website was supposed to have a store, so you can see that we kind of used it, the categorizing system on WordPress, to categorize some of the stuff, and then we just can't get rid of this for some reason. I'm sure there's PHP or plugins you can use, but it's fine to have it. And then with categories, so categories are like the chapters. This is the chapter about blogs and pins. This is a chapter about groceries. And then you also have tags. And this is all for SEO and organizational purposes if you're going to have a blog. And tags are something a little more like detailed. So if we go into my website, I'll show you kind of how my categories work. So we go to posts, and we're in our categories. So you can see that I have bug fixing, design work, free stuff, graphic design, marketing, security, social media. These are all the things that I write about in my blog. So then I have my tags. And tags, I have CSS. So yes, coding, but these are specifically about CSS. I have graphic design. So yeah, I'm talking about design work, but this is specifically graphic design. HTML, marketing, PHP. So you can kind of see that these are more detailed things. So we have social media is something I write about, but we have YouTube, and then more specifically YouTube premieres. So I'm going to show you how this populates on a blog. So you can see here I have a few. I'm going to pop into YouTube premieres, read more. So you can see that social media is the category, and this doesn't show my tag, but you can definitely see right here. So one of the reasons that this is a good thing is it organizes this a little bit. So if you have a really complex blog, you can actually just go and now you can see, oops, that didn't go to the right place. So let's say social media. So these categories make it so you have a specific page for all the categories of your blog. So if you wanted to, you can navigate people right into social media or right into bug fixes. See? But tags don't do that. Tags can be used for SEO purposes and they can be used for organization, but they're really just more of the nitty-gritty. Like I said, we have social media, and then here I have social media marketing, YouTube, premieres. Yes, I have social media right here. That's just for SEO purposes. So I am going to move on to media. So this is your media library. This is where you can see that this is preloaded with all of the art. So this is basically everything. So your videos go here, your pictures go here, your PDFs will go here. This is where everything is that you'll upload to the site. So for people who are making portfolio websites, you're going to upload it and it's all going to live in here. It's like your own internal media system. Links. You really won't have to worry about this much, really at all. So we're just going to kind of ignore it. You don't need to worry about the codecs and things like that. So if you wanted to really get into PHP or really deep into WordPress, you can go to codex.wordpress.org. This is all just things that are going to help you manipulate the base code of WordPress. We're not doing that in this class. Pages. So you're probably familiar with this by now. You can see that this website has home and blog, and we're just going to leave it there for now because in this video we're going to build a landing page together. So for now, we're just going to not add a new page, but I'll walk you through that later. Comments. This is where you're going to find a lot of spam and junk. Just select all and move to trash. Apply. Done. No problem. You can also comment on your classmates' websites if they're going to have blogs. That's actually a really nice way to help people's SEO. So projects. Here we go. This looks just like the blog, right? Well, in your projects, it populates a different area. So whereas posts populate the blog, these projects are going to populate your portfolio functionality. So we're going to add a new project. I'll just call this, oops, there we go, sample project. KCAD video. All right, cool. Yes, you can use Divi Builder. I'm not going to. I think that might probably make it more complicated, but we'll see. So I think all that we have to do here, first I'm going to set a featured image. We'll use, how about this Nickelodeon Cool? That's fun. Murderino, let's see. I think she has husband did it stickers, which make me laugh every time. Oh, here we go. The husband did it. So I'm going to use this mint, the husband did it one. And then you just add media. Boop. I'm going to add all the husband did it stickers. If you hold down Command, you'll be able to select multiple at a time and then just insert into post. And then for this, remember we talked about the categories in your posts. These are different. So I'm going to add, these are stickers. Add category. Perfect. I'm going to publish it. You can see that you have your URL to it right here. You can also view posts. So I'm going to hold down Command and click this so I can open it in a new page. There we go. Oh, I opened it 3 times. That's nice. Cool. So now you can see, here's the main picture. And this is just the basic. Obviously, if you use Divi Builder, you can design this more. So this is the first project. Now we have a project. So now we understand that posts populate the blog. Projects populate the portfolio functionality. You can see it has categories and it has tags. I'm going to skip appearance for now because that's where we're going to spend most of our time. So plugins. I've covered this a couple times, but I think I'm going to cover it a couple more. So here's the base plugins of what you need. Limit login attempts, just so someone can't forever be guessing your password and eventually get it. Easy Google Fonts, and I'll show you why I have Easy Google Fonts later. And then disable Guttenberg so 2 visual editors aren't piled up on top of each other. So if you want to add a new, you just go here. And I am going to install Yoast. Yoast is an a free SEO platform that'll help you get your search engine optimization going. Now remember, search engine optimization is a way to cheat search engines so you show up higher in their pages. So I'm going to install this now. And then once it installs, just hit activate right now so you don't forget to activate it later. This is going to take a moment, so we're just going to pause the video. Okay, we are back. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So now let me just make sure everything is running like it should be really quick because I don't want to record a video. Perfect. Okay. So as you can see, now the button has turned to activate. Let's just activate it now so we don't forget. Click. Cool. So now we have Yoast SEO in here. Perfect. Okay. So plugin editor, please stay out of this. This is PHP. I don't even mess with plugins. Actually, sometimes I do, but really only if someone absolutely makes me and pays me a lot of money. Add new, we just went through this. This will take you to the library. And then your installed plugins. You can always select multiple and then do an action. So if you wanted to deactivate everything, just choose it and apply. I'm going to reactivate everything. Activate, apply. Perfect. So yeah, these plugins are going to do crazy things like this. You don't have to worry about them at all. So users. So this is where everybody you want to have control of the website can have control of the website. You can see that I'm here and my husband's here. We were building this website for a friend. It ended up kind of just falling by the wayside. So it's just an empty website right now. But you can add anyone you want. So add new. If any of you guys have like web developer boyfriends, you can definitely throw them in here. So just put their username, their email. This is how they'll log in. And then show password. It'll generate a password for you. You can always edit it yourself. And then make sure that they are administrator. Or you can, if they're just like someone that wants to write in your blog, you can just author. So really you can choose whatever access you want for them. But Gary's always an administrator on all of my websites. So I'm not going to save this user because it's not real. But tools. This is for IT. This is when you have an IT department and they need to import and export information. I wouldn't worry about this. Looks like you can install your Tumblr in there if you want to. You can install another WordPress. I really have only ever used this once when I was at MLive, and it was for IT support. So we can just move on to your settings. Again, not really something you're going to have to worry about unless you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of WordPress. So this is not the settings of your website necessarily. This is settings of the WordPress. So you've got your site title, which we've talked about. It's what shows up here, right? You've got your tagline, which shows up on search engines, and it helps with SEO. And then you've got, your website address, just normal things, email address. Membership if you need a membership. I actually had someone that turned their WordPress site into a social media site, so they did need to register users. Writing, This is for your blog. Again, you're probably not going to need it. Reading, this is for external things that are reading your website. So you can always discourage search engines from indexing this site, which is what we do a lot if we're making like landing pages that we don't want people to search the business name and accidentally end up on the special offer landing page that's only supposed to go to customers. So if you don't want search engines all over your site, you can always check that. And then it won't even scan your site. You can also see that you can change your homepage display. We learned to do this in Customize. Everything in WordPress has 2 or 3 ways to do it, which makes learning it difficult. So just be aware there's that. Discussions about commenting, media is your media library, permalinks are links. Privacy, again, it's something that your hosting will take care of, so I'm not super worried about this. If you do want to have a privacy policy page, you can put it in here. Disable Guttenberg is a plugin that we installed to override the visual editor that comes with WordPress. Google Fonts is something that I'm going to go through later. It's one of the plugins. And then limited attempts, again, the plugins. So these are settings for your plugins. Ooh, I'm talking so fast. Okay. Yoast SEO, this is a plugin I just installed. Okay, now we're at Divi. And the reason that this exists is because the theme you have installed is Divi. So you can see if you go into Appearance and Themes, we have our Divi editor. Let me cover one more thing before I jump into Divi, and it's widgets versus plugins. I know I've answered this before, but I want to kind of send the idea home. So I'm going to install a new plugin really quick so I can show you the difference. So I'm going to install Ninja Forms, which is my favorite way to do contact forms. So I'm going to install now. This is taking a while, so I'm going to pause the video here. Okay, we're back, and we have Activate. So I'm going to activate Google Form or Ninja Forms. So you can see that we're in the plugins. We installed the plugin Ninja Forms. So we can go to Ninja Forms now, and we can build a form. Plugin is functionality. So the difference between plugins and widgets, I will show you now. So we know that the Ninja Forms, we can create the forms. Well, if we go into widgets, we can't create the form, but we can drop Ninja Form widget into here. So now we can drop a contact form anywhere we need to, right? So this is going into the sidebar. So if I go into this blog and I refresh, you can see my Ninja Form is here. So plugin is the base functionality. Widgets are kind of a small part of that. So plugins are like the website and the widgets are like the app. So kind of, but just in simple terms. Let's see what else. So you can pop your pages, right? It'll be like a navigation. Let's put that in here. You can put in all your categories from your blog. I could give this a title. There we go. You can have your search function. Let's see, let's do one more. Let's pop in a text. So this is an HTML editor, so you can literally just go H1, H1, hello world, save. Boom. Hello world, contact form, pages, here are my categories. So you can kind of see that widgets can be placed in places, whereas plugins are more of the functionality. So hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, put a pin in that and we'll talk about it Wednesday. Awesome. So now I'm going to jump into Divi Builder now that we've covered that. So this Divi in your dashboard right here is the basic functionality of your theme. So you can see that we have theme options, okay? So a lot of you are having, it says Divi right here, right? So if I reset this, save changes. Look at that. That probably looks familiar to every single one of you, right? So you're going to want to put a logo right here, or just something that represents you and your website. So to do that, we're in Divi, we're in theme options, we're in general settings, right? This is, all I did was come over to this dashboard sidebar and choose Divi. So now you can see here it says logo. So I'm going to upload a logo. So this is going to send me to my media library, right? This is where all of your media is. And I'm going to pop in this Unquiet Riot logo. Save changes. Refresh. And there's my logo. Easy as that. So fixed navigation bar. Let's disable that and see what happens. What's going to happen is your navigation isn't going to be sticky anymore. Sticky navigation means it moves with the website. So like if you come to mine, let's go to home. When I scroll down the page, my navigation stays with me at the top. That's a sticky navigation. You can see here, it doesn't do that. So if you want that option, a lot of you guys have navigation right in the page right here, so you don't necessarily need that, but I use it for easy navigation around my website. I'm going to enable that. Enable Divi Gallery. Yeah, for those of you who are going to use the gallery, let's just enable that. Color pickers, palette. I'm not really sure why they give you a palette, because you can go into customize and choose your own colors. So we're going to skip that for now. Grab the first post image. No. Set a featured image. Blog style mode. Yes. Sidebar. Do I want the sidebar on the right or the left? Let's put it on the left right now. Let's see what happens. Perfect. Look where the sidebar is now. It was over here. Now it's over here. So that's just little things you can do. You're not going to use WooCommerce, so don't worry about this. Except for the people who are going to have shops. So Hayden, specifically, you're going to have a different sidebar for your WooCommerce. Those settings are in WooCommerce, so you can always go through that. Google API key. So luckily, we found a workaround for this. I think it was Mallory and I that found a workaround. API keys are how you get your Google Map to function, and you have to pay for them now as of like last year. So it's kind of ridiculous. There is a work around that, and I'll show you that if multiple people are struggling with it. Use Google Fonts. Yes, 100% always. Show Facebook icon. That's your choice. Show Twitter and Google Plus icon. Also your choice. You're probably not going to have RSS, so you're not going to worry about this. This is where you link your Facebook and your Twitter throughout the website. So let's use my Twitter. I'm probably logged into and more, but let's see. So you go to Twitter. I have my and more marketing. You just copy and paste it. Copy that and put it right in there. So that now all of your Twitter buttons are going to send to this. Google Plus. I don't think I have one of those, so I'm not going to worry about it. All right. Date format. However you want it. Number of displayed on search pages, tags, blah, blah, blah. These probably aren't anything that anyone's going to have a complex enough website to use. Responsive shortcodes. Don't worry about that. Google font subsets. Yes, you're going to want that. Back to top button. I love back to top buttons, so I keep it. So the back to top button is basically, oh, that's cute. There's not one on this website. This is a great lesson All right, does anyone remember how to log into our WordPress? We have the domain name, right? And then we just do that, wp-admin. Because I saw a lot of you guys using a back way to get into your WordPress when this is the fastest and easiest way to do it. So you just enter that, and someday it'll load. So we'll come back to that when it's loaded. All right, JavaScript files, don't worry about that. Your website's not going to be so big that it's slow. Again, your website's not going to be so big that it's slow. What minify and combine actually does is it compresses the JavaScript and the CSS file so your website loads faster. No one's going to have a big enough website that it's running so slow. Looks like this loaded. You guys are getting an exclusive look at this website. Hopefully my partners are okay with that. All right, so here we are. And here's our back to top button right here. It just scrolls people right back. So if you're getting kind of in a zombie scroll, boop, right back to the top. So that's our back to top button. I suggest it if you have long websites and blog posts. So now we've kind of gone through your general. We've got our navigation. We talked about this on Monday, but we'll go through it again. Show drop-down menus, yes, because if you're going to have pages under pages, you're going to want that. Website home link, yes. Actually, some of you guys didn't want the home link, so just disable that. Then short pages links, no problem. Drop down, no problem. Categories, yeah. So this is all stuff you handle somewhere else. Then general setting. Scroll to anchor method. Yep, that's fine the way it is. This is just for your builder. It's enabled on your posts, your pages, and your projects. So when you're building a blog post, you can use Divi Builder. I'm just not going to worry about the rest of these, and I don't think you really should either, because the best way to do this is going to be in Customize. So I've kind of run you through the general options here for Divi Builder. Now we're going to do this. We're going to go into Appearance, Customize. This is where the majority of your website design work for the actual structure of the website is going to happen. So let's pop into there. All right. There we go, it's loading. Okay, perfect. So all of you should be familiar with this by now. This is the backend customizer. So we have the dashboard, which handles your entire website. Your Customize handles the way that the website looks to the people looking at it. So we have general settings, site identity, again, your site title and your tagline. If you're still confused about what that is, let me know. You can also do a favicon, which again, remember that it's this little thing. Like I have a skull for mine, and More Marketing has an ampersand, and this one has like a cute little Venus symbol with an oval behind it. So it just furthers the identity of your site. You can just make one of these in Illustrator and then pull it into Photoshop and save for web and then upload it. Layout settings. Okay. So this, when you make changes to this, it'll show on your website. So I'm going to show you this. You can enable box layout. This is what websites used to look like before we were really super familiar with CSS and responsive design and things like this. So you could do this box layout. It's dated. I'm going to warn you about that right now. But it's an option because you can always put like a cool pattern back here or whatever. So I'm going to get rid of that. Website content width. This is where it breaks. So you can see that like when I do that, it gets bigger and smaller. I suggest just keeping it at the setting, the default setting, because it's also where your thing is going to break for responsive. Website gutter width. I'm not too worried about that, but look, you can make your whole website full screen. I wouldn't suggest doing that because you're going to want kind of a break in the art, and you can always change the way that it looks. So this is just 1, 2, 3, or 4. Make sure it lines up with this, otherwise it's going to be real funky looking to the eye. There, we'll just keep it there for right now. Section height. Boom, look how big that gets. That's just padding. Row height, look at that, it's inside. So for each section, this gives it extra padding. For each row, this gives it extra padding. I'm just going to get rid of that padding because everything should touch. And on my website, everything touch. All right, so theme accent color. So your theme is going to be black and gray for, white and gray for its like general template, which is great. But here you select your brand color. So obviously you should know your hex for your brand color because it's going to have to be everywhere. I think this brand color is like this pink. So I'm just going to find a pink. This is not how I would do it. I would do it with hex codes. But for time, let's just do it this way. Bright pink. There we go. Bring it down a little bit. Perfect. So now we just publish. And I'm going to update right here and customize. Sometimes it'll show you the changes, sometimes it won't. You can see here's the pink now. We are in general settings. General settings, typography. This is not as super fun as the one I installed for you that we're going to go over. If you want to, you can use this one. I'm going to show you an easier way to do it. Make sure you definitely, if nothing else, select your header font and make sure it lasts. So remember, matches. So remember that we go to fonts.google.com to find the font that we want. So just look through here. Oswald's a good choice for headers. So I'm just going to scroll down. And for some crazy reason, this one you can't type in and just find what you want. So I have to go all the way down to Oswald. There you go. You can see it changed. Body font. I'm just going to do Lato because Lato goes great with Oswald. Everyone uses it, so maybe think a little bit harder than I am right now. Besides Oswald and Lato. Cool. So, I mean, they have all of these and you can use these, or you can use the plugin I'm going to show you in a minute. Select body link color. So all of your links in your copy, like if I had a link in here, it would show up as a color and underline. We're all of us who are on the internet in the 90s know the blue underline look of links. But you can kind of make it whatever color you want. So I'm just going to make this deep purple. Select it. Body text color. I always like to make it, 666 is my favorite one. It's my favorite gray. So I'm just going to bring that back to that. Current color. There we go. Header text color. I like to make it a little darker. Perfect. So now you can see. If I had like actual headings in here, you would see that. And then we have background. Background color. If you want to add a pattern, you can. I'm going to choose white. I know I'm not supposed to choose white. There. Perfect. All right. So we've got header navigation, header format, default. Look, you'll watch this change. So you can choose how you want to do it. Right? I'm going to choose centered. Look how fancy that is. Enable vertical navigation. No, because I don't really want vertical navigation. Hide navigation until scroll. That's a bad idea, but you can do it. Publish. So you can see the changes here, or you pop over and you see it right here. Primary menu bar. I really don't think that you're gonna have to do this, but I'm gonna make it full width, menu height. You can give it a lot more space. Max height. Look, you can make your logo so much bigger. Text size. Hold on, I have to talk to my dog really quick. Hey, Sophie. Calm down. Come here. Come sit by me. You're making lots of noise. Okay. This is just going to affect your navigation. So you can see, like, I can give it more letter spacing. Font, make sure you pick one that matches everything else. So I picked Oswald or Lato. I can pick either of those two. I'm going to go down to Lato because it's easier to read at small sizes. There you go. You can bold it. Text color. You can do the active color, so that's like what page I'm on. I'll choose another dark purple. This website's going to look awful. Background color for your navigation. It could be white or it could be dark. Could be any of those things. All right. Drop down. So that's like if you have this. So you know like how on my website, class 1, when you hover over news, you get that drop down. That's what it's talking about when it refers to drop downs in navigation. So you can choose your drop-down color, drop-down menu line color, text color. You can do everything. I'm going to publish this again. Secondary menu bar. I don't have one. I don't think you will either, but if you do, this is where it'll be. Fix navigation settings, header elements. So show search icon. I know some of you are so sick of that stupid search icon. You can get rid of it here. You can show your social icons as well. And then you can put your phone number. You don't have to do this because your phone number is going to be on your resume. For privacy purposes, I usually don't put my website or my phone number on my personal website. I do now because I'm a freelancer and I want clients to be able to contact me. But if I was just working in a company, I wouldn't have my phone number out. I don't want weirdos having my phone number. So we'll just publish that. Boom. Footer. Who is so sick of their copyright not being their own copyright? You can also see that we have all the social here. And you can also see when I hover, it's that color that I assigned to here. It's the primary, secondary color of your website. So it's not the white and the gray that was here already. It's a color that I chose. So it's in the hover. Layout. This is where you can change how many columns your footer has in it. I'm just going to do 1. You can also select the color. I always like my footers to be darker than the rest of the page. But that is up to you. Widgets. This is where you can edit the widgets you're going to have in here. So if you want like a special hover color on specifically the icons or specifically the links in your footer, this is where you do it. Widget header color, I usually do those white. Current, and then widget bullet color. Look at all these cool things you can do. I'm just going to make it kind of gray. There we go. Publish. And obviously I don't have anything in here. I'm going to pop something in the header really quick so you can see how that works. So I'm going to go back to home. Remember, when you're on your actual website, you have this whole bar to work with. So you can literally just go dashboard. So as we talked about the difference in widgets, widgets is where I could pop things into the footer. So we've got footer area 1. I'm assuming that that's where this is supposed to go. Let's just do, I'm just going to do HTML. Oops. Come on. There we go. So you just click and slide it over. And I'm going to do H1. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Hello, world. Save. Now, if we go into the website, we refresh it. Look where that social media bar ended up. So I'm guessing your phone number and email would go over here. So look at that. We have hello world. You can't see it really all that well, but it's in here. Hello world. I bet you if I went in and I did a style text align center, see that? Remember the inline CSS we learned? Save. Reboot. Now it didn't work. That's embarrassing. I'm not going to play with that too long because that's not what we're doing. But anyway. We have hello world. Let's pop something else in there. Let's just pop a random image. Cute little see you in hell sticker. There we go. And refresh. There you go. You can see it stacking across because I only have one column in my footer, which I chose here. So I'm actually going to set up this footer because when we make a landing page, I'm actually going to want the footer to look nice. So I'm going to delete this. Let's delete this. I'm going to do custom HTML, image source. You guys are going to watch me do some HTML really quick. So remember, image source, and then you just pop the image in there. I have a warning, and I don't know why. Oh, yeah, duh. So WordPress is always going to encourage you to put an alt with your pictures. So for people who their internet loads slow, or for people who are blind, it will read. It'll tell them this is the website logo. And actually you can write. So anything you can write in here is what's going to read to them or show if their website's not loading, or to read to them. So you can say click for home for extra help for those with disabilities. But make sure you actually put the link in there so they can click to home. Oops. I don't like this widget very much. There's one arrow. That's not an error. Delete. I'm going to go right down to here and just put text in. So text is an HTML editor too, and it won't be done. So there we go. Ahref, HTTP. You have to have the whole website address, so I'm just going to do this because I'm lazy. Actually, that probably won't work, but we will see. Perfect, it did. Okay, cool. I'm just going to do style, inline CSS, inline cascading style sheets, style. Margin, this might center it, it might not. Margin auto is pretty finicky in WordPress, but we will see. Save. So what do I have now? I have a logo on my footer. Cool. And I'm just going to add a little second navigation in here. So I don't want pages. I want to put a navigation. I'm just going to put a contact form. Actually, you guys probably want to know how to put navigation, so let me just... Apparently it's called pages in this one. Oh, my navigation menu. There it is. Navigation. Now you can specifically choose one for the footer. I'm going to put in homepage intro products, and then I'm just going to put like navigate the site. Save. There we go. Oh, that looks beautiful, doesn't it? I'm going to delete that. Cool. I'm not going to mess around with the footer anymore. I think you guys get the idea. Look how great that all looks together. Told you the website was not going to be cute. All right. So I'm going to go back into customize. We're going to go back to where we were. Actually, I'm just going to exit out of this because it's right here. Widgets, as we talked about, footer elements, show social icons. That's right here. So if I unclicked it, you can see that they disappear. Footer menu. So this is if you put like a little cute navigation in here. This will edit it. And then bottom bar. So who's had problems with their footer credits? All of us. So this is how you change it. You can see if I do that, it goes right to what you've been seeing. So hit Command G. Just kidding. Option G. Option G. Year. Who owns it? So Unquiet Riot Designs owns it. All rights reserved, as in don't steal my art, bro. You can also disable it. I wouldn't suggest that because you're artists and your art is on there. So you can see that you can change. These are social icon colors. See, it's changing. Social icon size. Whoa, we can make them so big. Font size. Whoa, we can make that so big. Minimum for that is, I think minimum for all legal on web is 11. Or is it 8? It's somewhere between 8 and 11. So anything like legal information you have to have on there has to be at least, I'm going to say 11 pixels to be safe, but I think an email can be a minimum. Oh, we got a dog throwing a hissy fit. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I put a bird feeder outside of my office window so my cat could watch the birds. And a squirrel came up to the window and my dog lost her dang mind. So we are back. We were talking about the bottom bar. My dog will probably actually lose her mind a couple more times, so we'll see. So we talked about changing the social media icon color. We talked about changing the background color, the text color, things like that at the bottom bar. We also talked about changing right here. So let's pop. What else is in here? So we have buttons. You can change the style of your buttons. Get poppin' right here. I'm not going to change these too much because I think this video is going to stretch a little bit long. So just so you know that that's there. I might not want them to be white, but we'll worry about that when I make the landing page. Button hover style, so you can change the way it looks when you hover over it. Blog posts, you can change the way your blog posts look. Mobile styles, oh, that's cool. All right. So it shows you how it's going to look on mobile websites, which is actually super helpful. Cool. That is really helpful. You guys don't have to worry about that too much. The fact that you guys are applying for, right now, industry entry-level jobs, people aren't going to expect your website to be too responsive, but it's a good touch, and Divi will do most of this for you. If you have something that's a little funky, don't worry too much about it. For those of you who are actually building for a company, this is going to be really helpful. Mobile menu. You can change the way your mobile menu looks. Right now it's pink, but you can change it into any color, text color, background color right here. So that's this. Okay, so now that we've kind of walked you through the dashboard and the customization and things like that, I want to get back down to what we wanted to do, which was build a landing page. So I'm going to delete that. So the first thing we're going to do is go into our pages, right? Because these are all the internal pages of our website, and we're going to add new. So I'm going to call this KCAD teaching landing page. Cool. I'm going to publish this right off the bat, so it's ready to go. I've moved it from being a draft to being published. So the first thing I'm going to do for this landing page is make it my home page. So I think we've all covered this, but just for a good repeat, let's head into Customize. So that was under Appearance, Customize. And then we're going to scroll down to Homepage Settings, right? We want a static homepage. So my homepage is going to be the KCAD landing page. And now it's here. Publish. One thing I did while the camera was off was I edited my menu right here. I know a lot of you have been struggling with that. So normally a landing page wouldn't have a menu, but for right now I'm going to teach you how to do it. So you're under Appearance and you want to go to Menus. This is also in the Customize function. I'm going to show you this way because it's my preferred way. You can also do it in Customize. So if you have not edited your menu before, this is all going to be grayed out. And you're going to have to go to Create a New Menu. So you can see that I'm working on my primary menu. If you go here, you can see my primary menu. And basically what you do is you just click it and you add it to menu. So you can see I have these three. I added it to my primary menu and my footer menu. So you can see that I have the menu right here, which is where it's automatically going to populate. And then also here's the footer menu, which you can turn on and off. So now that we've got the shell of our website ready to go, Now we can edit the inside. So let's start making this landing page happen. So I'm in the edit page. I'm going to exit all these different tabs I don't need. And I'm sure you're used to this by now, and I'm sure you've all figured this out. Use the Divi Builder. All right, cool. Oh my goodness gracious. Hold on one second. My thing is blowing up. Quit. All right, cool. So we are inside our page, right? And we have these down here. I'm not going to worry about these right now because what I'm actually going to do is do the build on the front end. Now, I know a lot of you are building on the front end. I choose not to build on the front end because I can have a lot more options here. So let's just, for your sake, I'm going to pop over here. All right, so when you're building on the front end, you can kind of see more how the website is coming together in real time. So you can see that we have this blue part, right? That blue part is your full website. It is from one side of the screen to the other side of the screen. In web development, we have something called outside of the grid and inside of the grid. So this green right here that I'm going to add a row to, that's inside your grid, okay? So that's going to stop at like 960, I think it is, but the rest of it's going to stretch infinitely. So inside this row, I'm going to make a header because I know a lot of you guys are trying to make your header. So I'm going to go into text, and I'm just going to go right here into text. And we're going to add an H1. And I'm going to be like, hey, this is my header. Check. So you can see that this is inside that green area. It's inside the grid. So what I'm actually going to do is add a picture to this full width section right here. So we can have a background. I know a lot of you guys want to use background images. I'm going to use gradient just so we can see things clearly. I'm definitely going to edit that gradient. Let's see. Let's do like a... Ooh, that's horrible. Do you guys want to just make like a really 80s website? Like real angel fire stuff happening here. This is actually not bad, so we'll do that. Look, you can do radial. That's cool. I don't mind this at all. So I'm going to check that. I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to go ahead. So you see how you have these like plus signs down here? So this works with the colors. So this blue plus this gray one is the functionality you're adding in. The blue one is to add to your section out here, your outside of the grid, and the green one is for the inside of the grid. So everything's color coded for you, right? So I'm going to add another thing to my functionality, and it's going to be another text. So I'm going to do this one, H2, H2, and then I'm going to say like, this is my subheader. Check. I'm going to add one more thing inside this gray area. Actually, yeah, I'm going to add one more. We'll do one button for now. So I'm adding a button, right? Click here. That's great. I'm not super pumped about the color, but I suppose we can go with that for now, unless you kind of want me to... There, that's better. We'll just do it that way. Boom. All right, so this kind of looks weird. It's not that cute at all. So what I'm going to do is add some padding inside this green guy. So the padding is giving the text some space. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to edit it. I'm going to go to design and I'm going to add some spacing. So margin is on the outside. Padding is on the inside. So I'm going to link these. There. Now you can see you have like a real header here. I'm actually going to make it a little bit bigger because I think I'm going to put some subtext in here. I can see how you guys are getting frustrated with this because it is kind of really finicky and it just takes a lot of practice. So I'm going to add text again. And I'm just going to pop lorem ipsum in here. I don't have lorem ipsum memorized. So I'm going to go to lipsum.com. I'm going to do 2 paragraphs. Actually, do not put that much in your header. So I'm just going to do this. Copy. I just copied that, and I'm going to paste it right here. There, now we have like a header, right? So we've got the full width, right? The color that is going from full width is in the blue. The stuff that we want inside the grid is in the green. And then gray is all the functionality we added. So gray is the type, gray is the button. I'm going to add another row. So I'm going to add another full width row. Full width, there we go. Add. I kind of want one of those green ones here. I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this one. And I'm going to click and drag it. Because I want all of my stuff to be the same size. Or I'm not going to do that. See, why would I just want to add functionality? Okay, I am back. My dog is losing their mind. The mailman's coming. All sorts of fun things happening. Okay, so we left off here. We have our header made and all that sort of fun stuff. All right, so inside the blue part, right, inside the page, I want to add another row. So I'm just going to add regular because I want everything to be the same size. So what do you think one of the first things we should have on a portfolio website is? So let's see how I did it. So we have, hey clients, here's my branding message. We worked on that. And it pops right into my portfolio. And I have that masonry happening. So let's do that here. Fair warning, I haven't played with the functionality of the portfolio much yet, so we're going to learn together right here. So you can see I added a new full width, right? We also have the functionality, the gray. I don't understand why my messages are turned off, but I'm still getting notifications. Okay, so this is inside our grid, the green, and then we can add gray to it. So I'm going to add the portfolio. I want a filterable one. Cool. So number of posts, 9. Ooh, 90. 9. Include stickers. Yes. Obviously, I just have that one in my portfolio, so this is all it's going to show up right now. But I want to kind of lay out full width. I want it in a grid. Yep, that's much better. Look, you can edit the overlay. I like the plus button, so I'm not going to worry too much about this. But look at all this cool stuff you can do. Text, title text. I'd really like that to be hidden. I don't know if that's a choice or not. I would just do it with CSS, but I don't think anyone here is comfortable enough with it. That's cool. That's a good idea. So you can just kind of keep playing with this. I'm going to center it. Just so everything's kind of separate. I'd like it to all be... Ooh, that's good. Let's do that. Color dark. I'm going to do light. Nope, that was a bad idea. Dark. Title text, criteria. Basically, you can do everything you need to do. Pagination font. Obviously default. Don't ask me silly questions. Write WordPress. So you just kind of can edit everything, and when you edit it, it'll show up right here, so you can kind of see. What I'm going to do is go to my projects right here. I'm going to install a new plugin really quick with you guys, and this will probably be beneficial for you anyway, so I'm going to do this on the camera. Duplicate. You can see I just typed in duplicate, plugins, add new, duplicate page, install now. So this is going to allow me to duplicate my projects. So once I have the settings I like for one of them, I can just duplicate it and then basically fill in the blanks. So I'm going to go to my projects and I'm going to duplicate this. And I'm just going to keep duplicating it. Quick edit, draft, published, update, duplicate. basically I'm going to do this until I have a good amount for the grid. So you can see that we have this quick edit right here. Look at all the things you can do in here. You can change the category, change it from draft to published, allow comments. Let's see how that changes things. First, I'm going to save. Remember to always save, because if it crashes, you're going to lose your whole page. So I'm going to save, and then I'm going to refresh out here so I can kind of see what's going on. Nice. There you go. Now we're getting somewhere. And you can see when I hit that, it'll take me to the actual like portfolio page. So this is kind of touching, which is real funky, right? So I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to do the same thing we did here. And I'm just going to add a margin so we have some space. Now, one of the good tips for being a professional web developer or making websites that are really just like pleasing to the eye is always keeping your margins the same. Obviously, I'm not going to keep it 100 like up here, but I'm going to go 50. Link it. Cool. Let's see how that looks. That's good. We have enough space there. All right, I'm going to save this again. And then I'm going to refresh it over here. Oh my gosh, children. My dog and cat are going to fight any minute now. Not fight, they just like play. But if the video cuts off again and just restarts randomly, you will know why. So when I said, oh my god, children, yes, I was referring to my animals. All right, so we have this portfolio section now. Cool. What else should we put in here? How about like an about section? I think in mine, it pops right down to my services. Yeah. So I'm just going to do like a fancy little about section. So here's what we do now. I want to add another part of this. So I'm going to add a new section. Remember, it's the full width part. You can also add a new row inside here. I don't want to do that. I want to add a new section. So I'm going to do regular because I want everything to be the same size. I'm going to give it a half. And then, so on this side, I want to have a picture, image, and I'll just pull one from my media library. There we go. Let's just use this like cool girl here. Add image. Check. So, and then I'm going to add just an about section with text here. So I'm just going to do, actually, I think I've walked you guys through the text enough. Let's try a different functionality. Let's see. What do you think? To action, blurb. Let's do a bar counter. So let's just say like, edit. I'm really skilled in Adobe Photoshop. Let's say I'm like 80% skilled in that. I'm going to add a new bar counter. Let's do Adobe Illustrator. Ooh, I should just leave it spelled like that. And let's say that I'm like 90% proficient in that. I'm going to add a new bar counter. Oh, sorry, I have to answer this text message really quick, so just give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. So let's say I'm good at Adobe Dreamweaver as well. 10%, check. So cool, I have a little about section here. I want to add something else underneath. So let's add a new module. How about a blog post? Let's just pop a blog post in here. I'm just going to post, let's do one blog post. There you go. So there's a blog post right here. Isn't this a beautiful landing page? Oops. Oh my god, don't do that. Save. So now we have this. I'm going to go to the actual landing page and do this. Oops, did I not save? There we go. It just wasn't all talking. So here's our landing page so far. Let's add one more thing onto the landing page. I'm going to add another row. Oh my gosh, Sophie, can you just give me like another like 20 minutes? I'm going to add a new row. And I'm just going to add, let's see what we can do here. Ooh, email opt-in would be nice. Gallery. Number counter, let's do that. So let's say like title goes here. Projects. Finished. Say that I have like 300, blah, 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 projects finished. Oh, it's in percentages. Cool. All right. I'm sure you can change that. I don't feel like doing that right now. So there we go, 96. So there, we did a landing page. Save. There we go. So now we've created a landing page and we've kind of done an intro into Divi Builder and you can see all the fun things to do. I'm going to do one more thing and it's this thing I've been teasing you about and it's the Google font, the Easy Google Fonts plugin that I installed earlier. So I'm going to play with this a little bit. So remember that we had H1, H2, and P. So I'm going to head into Appearance, Customize. I'm going to exit out of that because I don't think I need it anymore. All right, so remember that we had typography here. This is the wrong typography. Don't go to that one. Go to this typography, and this is only if you've installed Easy Google Fonts. So remember the plugin Easy Google Fonts. If you need to rewind the video to where I installed it, please do that. So here's the typography, and you'll see why I swear by this in just a second. So they break it down in paragraph tags and then heading 1 through 6 tags. So we know that this is heading 1, this is heading 2, and this is P. So I'm going to start with heading 1. Obviously, Oswald is our default. We set that earlier. But just for all intents and purposes, Oswald. You can style the weight of it. So you can do like, there we go. And look, it's changing right in front of your eyes, which is why I really, really like this one. I'm going to text transform. We're going to uppercase, so all my H1s will be uppercased. Font color, let's make it white. We're not going to want a background color. And then you can also just like be like, I want it huge. There you go. Give it some line height. Maybe I want it a little tighter. Some letter spacing. Not suggested if you have all caps like I do. There we go. You can also position it so you can have your margins, your top, your border radius, and your display. So I'm just going to publish that, which is just basically saving it. So now we know that this one's H2. So we need to go to the H2 heading. I'm going to make this one Lato, like that. It's really light, so let's give it like a bolder feel, but not so much that it's fighting with the header. Appearance, font color, I'm going to give this... Oops. We'll just do that for now. We don't want a background color, but you can edit your font size right here. And then I'm going to save it. And you can do the same thing with your paragraph tags. Lato. Ooh, see, this is why we put it in a body, because that is not cute, right? No one can read that. Regular, I'm not going to worry about any of those, but one important thing is that your minimum size for a website should always be 13. I stick with 14. As older people are getting on the web, you might want to go up to 15. I know I have a lot of clients that like cannot read 14 pixel type. So there, publish. So now you have a landing page. There you go, or the home page of your website, basically anything. So that was our quick deep dive into Divi. On Wednesday, like I said, we're going to really get in here, bring questions. let's just get you really started, because I think that we're all a little failure to launch right now. And that's totally fine. WordPress has a learning curve. New themes have a learning curve. Plugins have a learning curve. That's why when you meet WordPress developers, they just have things that they swear by because it's what they know how to use. So don't feel discouraged right now if you feel like you're behind. Everyone's in the same spot right now. Critique helped us realize that we're not really getting on the right direction right now. So we're going to rein it in. And hopefully this video helps. Pause it as you need it. Rewatch it. Things like that. And of course, I'm always here to answer questions. You can email me. You can text me. Obviously, it's easier to kind of fix the bugs in person, so we can always schedule a meeting outside of class, or meet a little bit before, a little bit after class. That's totally fine. Until then, I will see you guys Wednesday, and hopefully you found this video really helpful.